Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube. Thank you all for being here. I just want to go ahead and thank every single one of you for smashing the like button habitually the last few videos. It stokes me up way beyond any words I can come up with. I don't even think stokes me up is even a word. But you get the point. I definitely appreciate that. And to all the new subscribers and old subscribers, welcome to this video. What a ride this has been for the CKB family. We got listed to BitThumb. As everyone knows, let's go to a 30-minute chart. How about that? And I wanted to show you guys a play I made on CKB while this thing was kind of being volatile. I had noticed that we double topped here, and I thought, well, we might triple top this. I ended up selling everything I had at about 0.0365, somewhere in there. And then I was just kind of waiting. I just kind of had this chart up as I was taking care of some business. And once we got to about here, I realized that we were forming a possible inverted head and shoulders. And so once this kind of started ticking up like this, I bought back in at 0.0325, I think it was. And I kind of rode this thing up to about 3.7, and I think I sold off at about 3.69, 0.0369, 0.037. Doesn't matter. I ended up making like 100 or 800 to 1,000 bucks off this swing, which was nice. Then I waited for this to kind of become a little bit less volatile. As you can see, this 3-cent line gave a little bit of support here. And we've got a little bit of support here, and we've kind of been holding it ever since. So the 3-cent line for CKB, I want to just point this out, is a very crucial line for all of us. This has been kind of the middle ground of the battle, it kind of seems like. Heavy resistance here, heavy resistance here. Then it acts as some heavy and support, some heavy resistance and support throughout this week and a half, 2-week stretch. Just bouncing, it's getting support, it's getting resistance. It can't make up its mind. Now, hopefully that the BitThumb community is on board. That will provide us with enough stabilization and incoming money flow to keep us above this 3-cent line short term. I want you to look at this right here and make a mental image of that in your head right now. I'm going to show you something. What do you see? This right here. Back in late February, this is when I first heard about CKB, was when it got listed to the Voyager app. And they listed this thing at 7 a.m. As I remember this thing, you can definitely see how fast this thing grew. And we grew from, under a penny. I think I had originally bought in at 0.09 something. And this whole spike here was insane. I remember staying up with DPerch 531 on the phone. We were making thousands and thousands of dollars. It was great. But interestingly enough, it seems that the ascending triangle just kind of resumed back to normal after the Voyager crowd had entered. Shortly after, we saw this huge spike. Almost, let's see here, February 24th to March 8th, March 9th, somewhere in there. So about 2 weeks later, we saw a massive influx of buying. Are we going to see that with the whole BitThumb community being added, to the CKB family? We don't know. Personally, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know much about BitThumb. I've never looked it up. I should have looked it up prior to making this video. I don't know how large of an exchange that is. I could care less, to be honest with you, because I use Voyager and I use Coinbase, and those work just fine for me. what I'm seeing here is some sort of wedge pattern that is forming. I think that's very evident, and I'm almost thinking that I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of Fibonacci time zone appear somewhere in here. Now I think what I'm going to do is measure from this swing high to this swing low, and let's see what just pops up. And of course, looking back in hindsight, here's a nice pivot point warning us of a break. This candle here telling us a bottom is near. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of activity or event that happens around May 12th at 2 a.m. Central Time. Primarily because this wedge or this symmetrical triangle leads right to it. So we're kind of pointing right at this date and time. And I think with CKB, what we might expect until that time is to kind of maybe bounce right around in here. And then early morning hours, folks, we could see this thing pop. Now it could obviously pop before that, or it could go up or down. We don't know. Let's just be real here. Everybody wants to know which way a stock's going to go, which way these coins are going to go. It's more important to know when they're going to move. That's the most important thing. So that way we can kind of see what the patterns are and wait for the pattern to break out. Full disclosure, I'm holding 122,000 CKB coins. I don't really plan on dumping them unless this thing gets really scary. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll check CKB just to see what it's doing. But I think we're going to see some early morning action, because that seems to be when CKB likes to pop. And it plays around in these early morning hours, I've noticed. Other than that, folks, I really don't have much else to say. This is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and try to beat this drum anymore. We're holding support at the 3-cent level. Fibonacci time zone coming up. We have to wait and see what happens. But I have a hunch we may come back down and test this 50 moving average or 200 moving average. We may end up just bouncing right off it, which would be amazing to see, especially if these new BitThumb users step in and start buying. I think right now 3 cents is still cheap for CKB in the long, bigger picture. I really do think that this thing has every bit of potential of running to 10 cents, 15 cents, maybe even 20 cents as it gets added to exchanges. Currently, right now, the way CKB is set up, the lack of exchanges it's listed on, I don't see us hitting any of those numbers until we start getting listed on some of these mega exchanges. And hopefully the whole Coinbase rumors are true, and it will just get added to Coinbase. So I'm going to quit rambling on here, but thank you all for watching, and I truly appreciate everyone's support. Let me know in the comments below what you think CKB is going to go to by the end of the year. I don't know. I want to hear your opinions. Thanks again for watching, guys.